Democratic primaries, Iowa is a big deal. They are a very, very respected pollster, okay? They don't doctor polls. So they made a mistake on a poll. It turns out they had Trump doing worse than he ended up doing. Guess what? Pollsters, honest pollsters, make mistakes too.
But what is the basis of his lawsuit? Like, what is he saying in the lawsuit?
I think he is saying...
What's going on, you guys? Today we have Kyle Kulinski slamming Joe Rogan. Joe Rogan is sticking up for the Republicans shamelessly in front of Bernie Sanders. Kyle Kulinski is cutting through all of the BS. Let's get into it.
Had to pay $787 million in a lawsuit to a voting machine company because they flagrantly lied about that voting machine company. Flagrantly lied about it. Fed into the stolen election bullshit narrative. And that's the outlets that are the worst offenders. But no, they flip it and pretend like it's the liberal outlets or the both sides outlets that they're the worst.
He's suing ABC for one thing.
But with the Des Moines Register about the poll.
Yeah, I know the pollster there.
Was the poll incorrect?
Yeah, the poll was wrong. So what? Guess what?
But what did they know it was incorrect when they published it?
No, they published what they...
He's got he's got Democrat derangement syndrome and liberal derangement syndrome. Right? He really does. There's no way around it.
Thought was an accurate poll. But that pollster, by the way, what's the name? Seltzer polls.
I should just state for the record, I don't know this lawsuit. But
what it was about...
No shit, Joe. I don't know it, but let me also defend Trump on it very loudly and aggressively.
I am aware that in talking to people that understand polls, that some of these are politically...
All right, but the answer is yes and no. There are polls right now doing exactly what you say.
Right.
I could doctor a poll. I could talk to more conservative, more progressive people, get the results that I kind of want, right?
And they do it to motivate people or demotivate people to vote, and it's effective.
But it would cut in the other direction of what you're saying. The Iowa poll showed Kamala up 4. That makes Democrats less likely to go vote, not more likely.
On the other hand, this particular pollster, it's the Des Moines Register, not a huge newspaper. I bumped into them because when you're running Democratic primaries, Iowa is a big deal. They are a very, very respected pollster, okay? They don't doctor polls. So they made a mistake on a poll. It turns out they had Trump doing worse than he ended up doing. Guess what? Pollsters, honest pollsters, make mistakes too.
But what is the basis of his lawsuit? Like, what is he saying in the lawsuit?
I think he is saying...
Notice what Joe does. It's always like, let me try my best to steel man the Republicans, steel man Trump, view what they're doing in the best light. And it's the exact opposite for liberals, leftists, and Democrats, where the default perspective is they're all crazy and have pink hair and they're too woke and they lie all the time. Donald Trump told over 30,000 lies in his first term. I don't know if Rogan has ever addressed that. Trump has told some of the most preposterous lies I've literally ever seen, bro. I've told this story before, but he used to, in like the 1980s or early 1990s.
And Kyle Kulinski's making so many good points. I don't know why Joe Rogan doesn't want to have him on. Just kidding. I know exactly why. He's going to come in and he's wanting to, argue with Bernie Sanders, who is already wanting to, show that he is for the people, not so much that he's wanting to pick a side, more or less, not so much that, I'm wanting to prove anyone wrong. Bernie's more or less wanting to go in there and say, hey, look, I know Republicans, conservatives, progressives, we all have our differences, but let's look at what's really going on here. You're going to have people like Joe Rogan who's going to want to just consistently divide the people, do nothing but divide the people.
He would call the tabloid magazines and say it was himself, but he would pretend to be his own publicist. He'd say, my name is John Barron, and let me tell you, this Trump guy, he's hot. All the women want him. Madonna wants to date him. All these women want to date him. It's truly incredible. They can't keep their hands off him. It's amazing. And one of those tabloid magazines released the audio tape of Trump pretending to be his own publicist, sucking himself off. And then when they played that for Trump in the 2016 campaign, he goes, that's not me. I don't know what you're talking about. That the most insane lies you've ever heard. And Rogan, fucking water off a duck's ass. He still endorses him, goes to his inauguration. Pathetic.
That gave energy to his opponents, and that it was... He's
like
saying,
we talked about.
Like you talked about, but I don't believe that's the case. There are honest pollsters who make mistakes.
But what about the other the other lawsuit with the conversation that they had with Kamala Harris, where they edited the answers that she had to make it look more precise?
60 Minutes, they were suing 60 Minutes,
yes,
is, to my mind, historically, been around for a very long time. They're not infallible. But I think you look at most objective people will say 60 Minutes has a sterling reputation for investigative journalism. Are they wrong?
But that's not investigative journalism if you change someone's answers. If you ask her a question...
You mean like Fox News did with Trump and Epstein? You mean like that? Why don't you go on your show now and call for Kamala to sue Fox News over that? Call on the Democrats to sue Fox News over that. I won't hold my breath on that, Joseph.
She comes with a rambling answer that doesn't make sense, and you edit that out and insert another answer to a different question that seems more cogent.
All right, Joe.
The sense you're getting here is that Rogan, he's not seeing the big picture and what the purpose of the lawsuits are. And I'm going to get to that in a second because it is crystal clear what the purpose of the lawsuits are. And it's suppression of free speech and suppression of dissent against the regime because he's a fucking fascist.
Then you're walking down, you're walking down a dangerous path. Suing media has the impact of intimidating media. All right, if somebody sues you, all right?
That's such an important point, too. Yeah, because then the media is going to be like, hey, last time we criticized Trump, he sued us, and we had to pay out fucking $5 million in legal fees.
And Trump knows exactly how to play it. Trump knows exactly how to make people like Joe Rogan just completely get, up in arms about it or want to support Trump. He's going to say, oh, it's a conspiracy. They're wanting to, defame me. They're not wanting to. They're wanting to, suppress the truth. It's always Trump's the little guy against the deep state, and then he's going to just get everybody who's like, hey, yeah, this guy is really, he's really convincing me, and then they're all going to support Trump whenever he starts to, he's completely taking in this authoritative state, and he's wanting to suppress these different outlets that are talking about Trump, that are talking about what he's doing and what he's saying.
I guess we shouldn't criticize him, or I guess we should reduce our amount of criticism of him. That's the point, Joe. That's the point.
Somebody sues you. Why not you? You could be sued tomorrow, right? Because you are doing this. You're too sympathetic to this.
Right.
And Joe, you did that. And they have a big law firm behind you. You're going to have to spend zillions of dollars defending yourself. You know what? Next time you do an interview, you say, maybe I'm not going to go in that area. Right?
No, but it's not that. It's editing things.
It's unbelievable. It's literally unbelievable. It's like hitting a brick wall. His brain is a fucking brick wall. Joe, you're the guy who spent fucking years yelping about free speech, complaining about pink-haired people on college campuses with a septum ring trying to deplatform Ben Shapiro. Okay? You were screaming, First Amendment free speech, who cares if it hurts your feelings, bro? Fuck your feelings, bro. And now you're like, oh, Trump's feelings. An interview was mildly edited in a way he didn't like. Sue them, Don. This is so pathetic. It's so pathetic.
It's deceptive editing.
Joe,
in deceptive editing, you give people a different perception of who this candidate is than reality.
Right.
In just a second, you'll know exactly why. Rogan's line of argument here is complete and utter horseshit, because when you look at the list of lawsuits and anti-free speech actions taken by the Trump regime, the picture is crystal clear.
But that's not objective journalism.
I know, but
that's campaigning for that person.
Right, but
even if that were the case, that's not illegal. Oh my God. I'm gonna lose it, bro.
I don't have those details. I don't know that I agree with your analysis of it. I don't know enough.
I think that's universally accepted that that's what they did.
And you got to tell me why he is suing ABC. Why are you suing Meta?
Let's just talk about the 60 Minutes one first.
But it's not just
we could go to ABC.
Don't bring up other examples which clearly prove your broader point that this is not actually about him wanting ethics in journalism. Let's not talk about that one because that makes me look bad. Let's harp away on this one, of which, by the way, as I pointed out, there's an equal and opposite example which Rogan will never fucking acknowledge, that Fox News edited the Epstein clip to make Trump look better.
I'm not aware of that one.
Well, George Stephanopoulos said something that he didn't like. But the point is,
what did Stephanopoulos say?
I can't remember. It was I honestly don't remember.
Well, I think what he was saying was factually incorrect about the results of one of Trump's trials.
All right. Guess what?
So there we have it, you guys. It's insane what's going on with Joe Rogan. I really think that it has something to do with whenever COVID went down, and he just felt like he was slighted by all these companies, like all these news sources. And somehow Trump is able to get him to think that, oh, I'm on your side, man. I'm against all these media outlets too. Whenever he is stifling what people say at these campuses. He's getting in front of students. They're getting their graduation. Their diploma not given to them because they're mentioning free Palestine. It is more evident than ever that this country is against free speech, and you're going to have people that were supposedly for it now completely against it. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. So it's another day in the progressive way.